Right then, this is what we learnt with Moses Itauma's win over Dillian Whyte in the very first round. First of all, Whyte is absolutely finished and done. Yeah, like that. That's really one of the only things we actually learnt, to be honest with you, after watching that. That Whyte is absolutely shot to pieces. He has no legs underneath him whatsoever. I feel like that is the first thing that we learned while watching that fight, to be honest with you. Whyte, I I at least expected Whyte to test him. Even I said he'd win, but he should have at least chin checked Moses Itauma, but he couldn't do that. So that's what we learned. Whyte is absolutely done and shot to pieces and probably should retire. Not probably, he should retire. What we also learned is that, look, Moses Itauma is absolutely unbelievable. He is, and he is going to be a pay-per-view star. That was pay-per-view as well, but, you know, he is going to be pay-per-view worthy. He is going to be a pay-per-view star without a shadow of a doubt. Yeah, that is what we did learn. Like, that is what is going to happen, though. He is going to be up there, and I said that before the fight. But again, though, did we learn that, or is that something that we already knew? But look, Whyte's his career best win, no matter, you know, what narrative it is, even though Whyte was literally way past his best. That is his best career win. And that Itauma is going to be a real deal because he didn't really put a foot wrong in that fight at all. He didn't. He did absolutely everything right. He's a great in and out southpaw. His attacks are very good. He's so dangerous. He's so dangerous. That lead hand of Itauma is so dangerous. The phase attacks of Itauma are really dangerous. The way he's in and out of there, his counter shots are very good. Yeah, but it's kind of what we already knew about Moses Itauma, though. We already knew he could do that. We already knew he was that good. You know, we already knew like he could perform like that. But against the kind of Dillian Whyte like that, I was expecting Whyte to be better than what he was. But against like pudding like Dillian Whyte, like he was there, an absolute pudding to be beaten, we already knew that. But again, you know, we learned, I guess, you know, you can say Whyte's a high level guy. We learned that, you know, we can KO a guy who has operated at the top level, a really experienced guy who's operated at the highest level in Dillian Whyte, but was way past it though. But again, it's difficult. I think I saw Dave Allen say something as well. He said on his story, we haven't learned anything that we didn't already know half an hour ago before the fight started. That's what Dave Allen said. And you've kind of got to agree on that. But yeah, I think, you know, what we did show as well, what we did learn there is, you know, heavyweight division, it is different now. It is different. I think the old guys are gone. They're behind it now. You know, Dillian Whyte, Derek Chisora's, they're done. The Kubrat Pulevs of this world, they are done. You know, all those old guys need to get out of the division now because we've got a new up-and-coming guy in Moses Itauma who's looking to take absolutely everybody out and needs to be respected, only 20 years old. And, yeah, the old guys just haven't got their legs under him now. And, you know, Itauma is showing to be the real deal. And if you're an old guy and a veteran kind of guy wanting to go up against Itauma, you shouldn't bloody do it because it would probably just end like that. It would probably just end like that, to be honest with you. I think it's clear to see as well, Saudi Arabia are trying to build a star. You know, they didn't just make Moses Itauma a main event for no reason whatsoever. They are trying to build a star. And that's what it looked like there. That's what it looked like there. They're trying to build a star. It was put on pay-per-view for a reason, which it wasn't pay-per-view worthy, but I mean in that Saudi put him on a pay-per-view for a reason. Riyadh Season made him pay-per-view for a reason. And yeah, like a statement was made there. I feel like also what has to be said is Itauma probably isn't too pleased that he wasn't tested. I reckon Itauma wanted to be tested in that fight. I reckon Itauma's gutted that he didn't get to show more. And I feel like that's something that's got to be said as well. He must be gutted he didn't get to show more, to be honest with you. One thing is, does Whyte's legacy take a massive hit after that? Like, I don't know, like he was massively past it. That was clear to see. But again, you can say it was probably a hit, to be honest with you. You could. I think, did the pay-per-view flop in a way? Is that something we learned? Did the pay-per-view flop? Because I feel like with what I felt, and I feel like what I've seen a lot of other people are feeling, is that they just feel let down. It's like by Dillian Whyte. Feel really let down by Dillian Whyte. To be honest, and rightfully so. People should feel let down by Dillian Whyte after that, to be honest with you. It wasn't good enough whatsoever. It was absolutely appalling, to be honest with you, from Dillian Whyte, the way he came in, trying to come in with the cross guard, not himself. He should have just came in, tried to leave it all out there, but Dillian Whyte was just there trying to box with Moses, and I don't know why. I don't know why, because Itauma was always way too fast for him. And look, the reason I predicted Whyte to win is because I thought he'd leave it all in there. I thought he'd try and slug it out with Itauma, but he tried to box with him. I did not think that was on the cards. But I don't know. The guy tried to box with bloody Tyson Fury earlier. So it's like, that's the thing. But look, the division is moving really fast now. That is something that we got to say as well. The division is moving very fast now, and it's going to be interesting to see what's next for Moses and Itauma overall. But I feel like the main thing that we learned there in that fight is that Dillian Whyte is just past it, and I still feel like right now, questions haven't been answered of Moses Itauma. They haven't fully been answered. I mean, we already know he's a big up and coming star. I think we can tell that by his skill level, the pace he fights at. It's just different to a normal heavyweight, to be honest with you, because he's so quick. And I don't think Whyte's seen hand speed like what you saw from Itauma there. But again, questions haven't been answered. Can Itauma go late? What's his chin really like? How's he like when he gets taken into deep waters? So many questions that we need to know have not been answered yet. So that's what I'm taking out of that, really. But yeah, anyway, thanks for watching.